It being 6:30, I'd like to call to order the Monday, May 11th meeting of the Norton Conservation Commission. Before we start the meeting, I need to read a statement by Governor Baker. It says, pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law and the Governor's March 15, 2020 order imposing strict limitation on the number of people that may gather in one place, this meeting of the Norton Conservation Commission will be conducted via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. Specific information and the general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public and or parties with a right and or requirement to attend this meeting can be found at the end of this agenda. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. In the event that we are unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on the Norton Cable website, www.nortonmediacenter.org, an audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. Now I'd like to open the meeting and just reiterate that no in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but the public can listen to / view this public hearing meeting while in progress by logging into the Zoom conference meeting listed at the end of this agenda. Members of the public attending this public hearing / meeting virtually will be allowed to make comments if they wish to do so during the portion of the hearing designated for public comment by raising their hand virtually or pressing *9 if participating by phone. Any questions? Okay, first hearing is a notice of intent to file 250-1056, 57 Richardson Avenue. This is continued, right, Jen?
Yeah, we continued it just to hear from abutters in case anybody couldn't attend any of the other meetings. Sorry, I forgot to unmute Bill. Just in case anybody had any comments, then weren't able to make the last meeting, but we've not heard from any abutters, so you are okay to close.
Super.
Okay, are there any comments now from anyone on this property? Okay, I welcome a motion.
I'll make that motion that we close public hearing for 250-1056.
Second.
Julian makes a motion to close the public hearing for file 250-1056, seconded by Dan Doyle. All those in favor?
Aye. So we need to do a roll call vote, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
My vote is aye.
Gene?
I vote aye.
Dan Doyle?
Pearson votes aye.
Ron?
Aye.
And is Dan Pierce on the phone?
Yes, I am. Yes, I vote aye.
Okay. So you're going to do the conditions now or after?
You can do it anytime you want. Okay, and so that vote was to issue the...
To close the public hearing.
Okay.
Any questions, comments about the conditions? Pretty standard, it looks like. So I just need a motion then to accept.
Make a motion to accept the order of conditions for file 250-1056.
And I will second.
Pearson.
Dan Doyle makes the motion to accept the order of conditions as written, seconded by Dan Pearson. And I see a roll call vote. So Dan Doyle?
Aye.
Julian?
Aye.
Gene?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Dan Pearson?
Aye.
Okay, it's accepted as is.
We did have Lisa join us, but I don't know if she heard that beginning part. That was just
She's still
that we didn't get any comments from abutters, so we closed the public hearing and we're ready to issue for 57.
So do we want to revote or?
No,
okay.
No, I think you have a quorum.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, our next hearing is a notice of intent to file 250-1054, New England Power Company, 315 and 327 transmission line right of way. And we are only waiting for abutters' comments. So,
Correct. Just like the last one, we had all of our discussion at the last meeting, but in case there were any issues with anyone accessing the meeting, we postponed for 2 weeks. We did not hear from any abutters, so you're okay to close public hearing.
I'm going to make a motion to close the public hearing for file number 2501054.
And I will second that motion.
Dan Doyle makes the motion to close the public hearing for file 250-1054, seconded by Julian. Give me a roll call vote. So starting with Dan Doyle.
Aye.
Julian.
Aye.
Gene.
Aye.
Ron.
Aye.
Lisa.
Aye.
Dan Pearson.
Aye.
So moved. Okay. So conditions. Any comments on the conditions as indicated, Lisa, or anybody else?
I had two comments. There's a typo on swamp on findings number 1. And
Got it.
Jennifer, can you go over number 10?
Actually, that doesn't need to be a finding. Yeah, that doesn't need to be a finding.
So it's going to be removed.
No, I mean, it just says all wetland shall be restored. Do you mean all disturbed areas? All?
Yeah, it would have been the wetland replication would be replication area.
Okay. That's all I had.
Okay.
They're so
Anyone else have any comments or corrections? Okay, I entertain a motion to accept the amended conditions.
make that motion.
I'll second it.
I'll second it. Oh,
Lisa makes a motion to accept the amended order of conditions for file 250-1054, seconded by Julian. Can I need a roll call vote? Dan Doyle?
Aye.
Julian?
Aye.
Gene?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Lisa?
Aye.
Dan Pearson?
aye.
So moved. Okay. Our next hearing is a notice of intent for file 250-1052, Scott and Joan Stormo, South Worcester Street. A proposed project to construct 2 triplex units and 5 6-family units with an associated roadway and 2 infiltration basins within 100 feet of bordering vegetated wetlands. And
They were still working on revised plans after the soil tests that were witnessed with John Chesia, so they have requested a continuance to the first meeting in June on the 8th.
okay.
I'll make a move. Oh, sorry.
No,
To
you
continue?
You make it. I'll second it.
Dan Pearson makes a motion
And Pearson makes the motion.
to continue the public hearing for file 250-1052 to the June 8th meeting, seconded by Julian. Your roll call votes. Dan Doyle?
Aye.
Julian?
Aye.
Gene?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Lisa?
All right.
Dan Pearson?
Aye.
So moved. Next hearing is a notice of intent to file 250. Are we going to reintroduce this one? No? Okay. Sorry about that.
Nope. Next on the agenda, you just have administrative approvals. Those are projects that have been emailing in the last several weeks. Either they meet exemptions or it's just a tree removal project, and I've either received pictures or I've been to the site, and so they're not something that we would require permits for, but just want to make sure everybody is aware these are coming in fast and furious because everybody's home and doing yard work, and we've had a number of storms. So it's just a way to keep track of these things in case anybody called you about them. So then you could go down to minutes.
Okay. So we have minutes to approve for the Monday, April 27, 2020 meeting that I was not asked, but I don't see any comments or corrections from anybody if they have them.
I had one comment on the New England Power. Carosa asked if the piers in the photos are, I did ask if they were concrete, but I asked if they were cast in place or precast. And then should say Milliman explained that they are cast in place.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all you had?
Yep.
Anyone else? Comments? Corrections? Dan?
No, it's, well, if you really want me to, second page, second line down, you might put a comma after the house.
Okay.
Hello?
Yep.
Oh.
I see it. You see it, Jen? Okay. Anyone? Okay, so I will entertain motions to accept the amended minutes.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
Dan Pearson makes a motion to accept the minutes as stated, seconded by Julian. Roll call vote required. So Dan Doyle.
Aye.
You don't need roll call.
Well, nevertheless, I vote aye.
Gene.
Aye.
Ron.
Aye.
Lisa.
Aye.
Dan Pearson.
Aye.
Yeah. Next second. So, old business. Jen's the next item, the old business, the TBC appeal.
Yeah, you just have to talk a little louder. I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. So next we have old business, the DEP
Right.
250-1053 TBC appeal.
The two projects that we have under appeal, the first one is the TPC, file number 2501053. Just information that you get a copy of the letter they submitted to DEP. Same with Island Brook. There are new plans submitted for DEP file number 250983. They also submitted a new packet of information. We have an estimate from John Chesia to review that for $2,000, which we can take out of Wetland Protection Fund. So you probably want to vote on that. It doesn't have to be a roll call vote, though. You're only doing roll call votes when we're doing your electronic signature. So if you're okay with John Chesia, then we'll take that motion to use Wetland Protection Fund for the commission to have a peer review of the new plans for Island Brook.
I make that motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you.
Dan Doyle makes a motion to accept Wetland Protection Funds to hire John Chesia to review the Island Brook appeal letter sent to DEP. Seconded by Ron. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved.
Then under violations, I'm just going to unmute people.
Ron, he said he's been.
Shane, have video. I put that one this. Okay. So we'll skip the violations. The one we really have to talk about is 184 West Main Street. They have a restoration plan that we're going to talk about tonight, and you have two people, I think, who are planning to speak.
Hi, everyone. Shane Oates with Center Mount Land Development. I also have with me Brandon Fanoof, who is with Eco Solution Systems Incorporated. And Brandon and I have been working together the last couple of weeks with Jennifer on putting this plan together. So Jennifer had sent us some comments about a week ago, which we addressed. We made a few revisions to the plans. We added a planting sheet for detail and put some construction-related notes on that as well. This is sheet one. So we added some notes to the bottom of this plan. We fixed some spacing on some of the symbols as well.
So Shane, you may want to start at the beginning and tell them where you are and what happened with the plan.
Let me see here. Having trouble getting to my email where I responded. Let's see. I got it.
But a question.
Go ahead.
A question as to where the location of this site is.
It's 184 West Main Street, and our client is Sky Enterprises, which is basically the owner for Tristan Medical Center. It's in that plaza there.
So is this the same plaza that has? It
has the bank out in front, and I believe the bar is or was Trinity a while ago.
Okay, got it.
Yep, the cable center is in the back here.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's,
what happened was that I think our client had leased some space to a landscaper who had then proceeded to clear a section of the riverfront buffer area, unbeknownst to him. So this is kind of where we're at. I can just go through Jennifer's email. She had a comment on our first version. The first one, I note that the wetland and riverfront were delineated by others. Please be aware that these boundaries have not been reviewed or confirmed by the Conservation Commission. So in this case, we just added a note to the sheet that kind of says that exact same thing. I'm going to read. If I can zoom in. So under general notes at the bottom of that plan, note 2 just states now wetland and riverfront delineations to be field verified by Conservation Commission prior to implementing restoration plan. We have had this line flagged a couple of times over the years. I think I've been involved with this site for probably 15 years. The last time might have been 2013 when they did a small addition to the building and maybe a concrete pad. So we added that note that however the commission wants to verify that line is fine with us. We could have Brandon go out there and review it. I don't think any flags are going to be up, but I'll leave that up to the commission. Number 2 on the plan, please add the area in square feet of the alteration to be restored. And we added note 3, which says the alteration area to be restored equals 20,987 square feet. Number 3, spacing for black cherry appears to have an error. Spacing for the black cherry has been revised and or corrected on this sheet 1 plan now. Number 4, Jennifer said, who will be doing detail of proper planning should be added to either a separate plan sheet or can be added to a more detailed written description of the restoration sequence. Sequence should also include watering, invasive species, removal of sedimentation controls, monitoring, methodology, time frame, start date. So what Brandon did here for us is we just came up with some planting notes that are located in the lower corner of sheet 1. The anticipated planting date is May 25th of this year. Restoration area to be treated with appropriate herbicide to eliminate invasive species prior to commencement of plantings. Watering during the summer months shall be done weekly. If a local source is not available, watering will be completed via water truck or truck container kept on site. Plantings shall be visually inspected during weekly watering for plant stress, and sedimentation controls to remain in place until ground cover has been fully established. Controls to be inspected on a weekly basis and repaired, replaced as required. Then Jennifer's last comment, number 5, was a typical restoration plan has trees 10 feet on center, shrubs 8 feet on center. Provide a description of why you feel the proposed planting plan would be adequate. Our plan has larger spacing, just so everyone knows. Our response was the proposed plant spacing is based on interpretation of the 2019 aerial orthophoto of the area prior to work and from on-site observations. The area of impact existed as old field habitat and was sparsely to moderately vegetated. Trees at 10 feet on center and shrubs at 8 feet on center would be appropriate for the restoration of a fully forested area but this area existed as a mix of field and regrowing early to mid-successional growth, including the species proposed to be planted. The current spacing is more commensurate with the conditions that existed prior to work. So then on sheet 2, we had some planting details. We also changed the schedule of plantings into a chart that's a little bit easier to read now as well. So that's our update and where we're at the moment.
Go back to. Can everyone see sheet 1?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
And is Brandon on the phone?
Yeah, I thought it was somewhere. Brandon, are you there? He was earlier.
Thought I unmuted him. I'm going to have to stop sharing for a moment.
He's on the call. He's just muted.
Is he muted?
Hey, Brandon, are you there?
Yeah, hang on. I think I unmuted him before.
Oh, he's unmuted now.
Yeah, and while you're doing that, I have a quick question about the current spacing. The current proposed spacing is, you said it wasn't 10 feet, but roughly what is it?
Off the top, let me see my plan. Hang on 1 second. Pull up sheet 2 on my computer. So the black cherries are spaced at 80 feet on center. The white pine, 25 feet, red cedar, 25 feet, and the sweet fern shrubs are 10 feet as opposed to the 8 feet that was mentioned. So that's our current proposal to kind of mimic what we thought was there before it was taken out.
Okay, and so all the activity is happening in the outer riparian, outer
Right.
100 feet of the riverfront area. And so what's the square footage?
It was 20,987.
Okay. So they're under the enforcement order that we issued in December, they need to restore that riverfront area. And what Shane is presenting is the plan that they're going to use to do that. So what's the time frame when you plan to start? And if it's Brandon, feel free to put it in the chat. That's okay too.
So our goal is, once the commission is happy with this plan, I will probably contact the client immediately to schedule these plantings to begin and to be completed by Memorial Day, so that, there's some good moisture in the ground now. We don't want to put them, starts getting warmer, end of June, July, obviously. So our goal would be to find someone quickly to put them in and get it done by Memorial Day.
I see Brandon keeps trying to talk, but it's not working for him. He's having trouble with it.
Can't hear me?
Oh, we got you now?
Yeah.
You got me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. Sorry about that.
So we'll meet on site before you actually start?
Sure. Absolutely.
I didn't have any other questions on the restoration plan.
We have to vote to accept the restoration plan?
Sure.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a motion?
Make a motion to accept the plan.
All right, and I'll second Dan's motion.
Okay, Dan Pearson makes a motion to accept the restoration plan proposed for 184 West Main Street, seconded by Julian. All those in favor? Roll call vote. Does we have to sign this, Jim?
No, you don't need a roll call. You can just have a regular vote.
Okay. So all those in favor?
Aye.
That motion passes.
Okay, thank you.
You guys.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
I do have done my part. Ship on me.
Take care.
Don't talk so much next time, Brandon.
Anytime, you know it. Less is more. Bye.
Take care.
Well, that's all we have on the agenda. If anybody has anything they want to bring up?
Well, unmute Travis. See if you
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm from BSC. I was just here for the National Grid New England Power, and I was just sitting in listening in as well. Don't mind me. Thank you guys so much.
Okay. Well, you're ready to adjourn if you have nothing else.
Excellent. All right, need a motion?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Ron makes the motion to adjourn, seconded by Dan Pearson. All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved.
Okay.
Thanks, Jen.
everyone.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Thanks,
Good night.
Melissa.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks, Tim.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good evening.
You too.
You too.
Okay.
Stay safe.